What up, peoples? Thank you for coming back. Hi. I don't know if you missed me or not, because I haven't recorded in a long time. What you've been seeing is just a pre-recorded event. I really hope you liked the Thursday Tales with my family. I believe I titled it Black Women and Opinionated, or just Opinionated Black Women. That's what it was, Thursday Tale edition. I really hope you like it, and that it gave you a different perspective. I know it had nothing to do really with byLadyBug, but I know a lot of people are going out into the world. A lot of photographers and videographers are going out into the world and capturing the moment. I don't know, they say photos tell 1,000 words, but sometimes it's just good to hear those words coming straight from the people who are living it and experiencing it versus just capturing it. So that's where I brought my family in. I hope you appreciated their opinions and their point of view, and a little bit of mine, because I couldn't help but jump in there. But that is still going on in this world, in this day. So I hope you are still doing your part and with listening, supporting, and learning about what's going on around. So for today, similar to last time, I do want to have a guest speaker. We're going back to byLadyBug centered things, and I want to bring in my forever second, is what I'm going to call him. We're going to bring him in, hear his point of views, ask him a couple of questions, and go from there. I would like to introduce to you my fiance and my byLadyBug supporter, Alexander.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. How's it going with you?
Yeah, not bad.
Good.
Yeah.
So, tell us your media background, or what you see your media background being.
Well, I went to college and my minor was in communications, with a heavy concentration in photojournalism. Some photo editing. In high school, I had a class called television production that I really enjoyed, and we made like little short films, came up with scripts for things. We actually did a really silly commercial that, if I can find it, I'm going to put up on YouTube somehow. Yeah, and I've had the pleasure of working with byLadyBug at a couple of weddings so far. So
we actually met in college, and so I actually got to see him at work behind the camera at first. It's not like I just brought him on because I needed a second person. I brought him on because I trusted him as a second person, and I knew his work is pretty good and capable and whatnot. I always see my point of view of the wedding from photography. I know what shots I get or what I went out to get, but it's always a different point of view from his eye, because he's capturing in motion, film and everything. So I always go back and I'm like, oh snap, his eye is good. I would not have gotten that shot. That's nice.
I like to think I have a good eye.
Yeah, I always think so too, because I've seen it.
I'm not talking about video.
Oh.
I'm talking about her.
Oh. See, I didn't see that. But so tell us about your first event with byLadyBug with the pro bono.
Yeah, so the first wedding that we did, which was pro bono, it was, how do I put it? Because it was for some family members, and it was the first wedding that I had been a part of, which made me extremely nervous because it's a special day for people, and I didn't want to miss something that they might find important. Yeah. While the bride and groom were getting ready, that was something that was requested from my lovely supervisor at the time, was that we get some shots of the groomsmen getting ready and the groom, and she was going to do the same for the brides and her bridesmaids. The group that I was working with, they were very chill and laid back, and I was like, too chill. I need footage, guys. So there was attempts to put music on and stuff, and luckily somebody had one of their children there, and there was a young family member there who made it a lot more just like, oh, I'm in this. He heard the music, he was bouncing, and it kind of got everybody else into it.
Yeah. So that definitely helps when people are more lively and involved. Yeah. And that event was prior to me having two DSLR cameras. So he was given what did I give you? The point and shoot?
Yeah, I think it was like a Nikon, one of those like regular digital camera.
Yeah, so it was the Nikon Coolpix point and shoot camera that I had. Had a tripod though for it.
It did.
So that made it look a little bit better as far as stability goes. But he got our establishing shots. I think you did that on the Coolpix. Yeah, he got the establishing shots. He got the interviews that they requested of us. And then everything during the wedding and the bridal point of view I did on my DSLR camera. Now I have two. So yeah. So for the second wedding, with those 3 cameras and the camera of my second photographer, we all kind of just oscillated the cameras around each other, like as long as, because from time to time the battery will go out, so we'll switch out. Yes.
Having been the videographer between 2 photographers, that was an interesting experience.
Tell us about it, won't you?
So from a technical perspective, right, it was cool because the photographers saw something that would look really good as a still, and from the videographer perspective, I wanted to capture moments, right? So that involves like audio, that involves like little jokes, gestures, body language that will translate a little bit better in motion. But working around the photographers who are like, ooh, this is a good shot. It's if you are a part of the same team, I think it's easier. But it was very easy for the photographers to lose the big picture, lose sight of where they were and how that might have been impacting shots for the videographer. And it wasn't intentional because she fiance hat off for a second. She's very, I see this, I need to get this shot, right? And sometimes that interferes with time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Yep. So there'll be like a list of shots that might be given, and she's like, all right, I'm going to get this one, this one, this one. But then her eye catches something, it's like, oh, I want to do this one, this will look great, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, we only got like an hour to be outside. So sometimes she might lose sight of the bigger picture because she's getting a great shot, which ends up really good for the client. But sometimes working in that environment it's tough. But you guys just gotta work around each other.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people would say they have issues with that when they're not on the same team. And it was 3 of us, and we actually got a compliment from a couple of different people that said we look like we have been working together for years. The second being his name is his photography business is G. Lucas Photography, and I think we did work pretty well together. I think in my mindset though that because I'm shorter than him, he could always go over me to get the shot. But that's not the shot you want to get every time. So
shout out again to the other photographer that was helping that day, G. Lucas, because he's also done some video stuff in his own business, and he was helping me with some settings that I wasn't quite familiar with, and I got this really dope shot because we had a stabilizer on the camera, and it was like the flowers for the guys, they were sitting on the table, and then we put like corsages, yes, and they were sitting on the table, and I got this really nice like sweeping shot. Had to get all low and like just really nice sweeping shot, and it was just great B-roll for the DVD that she eventually made for the couple. And there were a couple moments like that with just like slow sweeps or just pans of like the venue empty and then the venue again with people in it, and it just was really cool. Like I liked the juxtaposition of, all right, this is the calm before the storm that is a wedding, and then the calmness of the
uproar of celebration.
Yeah, exactly. And it was just cool seeing those two moments like back to back.
Yeah. So
one event, my back really hurt. That was rough because I wanted to get shots, but photography and videography is a physical thing. I don't know if people realize that, or people that aren't in the industry or have never done it realize it. It's physically taxing because depending on your camera and like your rig and all that kind of stuff, it can be heavy, but also you want to make sure that things are stable. So even if you have a stabilizer, that adds weight to your camera. You don't want to be like breathing too heavy in the camera or in the microphone. Yeah. You don't want it to pick up anything like that. So not only was I in pain, but I also was trying not to say it so that it came up over the camera. Oh, there is something just being behind the camera will do to you. I get wrapped up. Like, I'm a bit of a sap. I know you can't tell from my stone cold demeanor. But like I get emotional with like certain commercials and where you're just like, oh dang, that one tear, really, right now?
Got you.
So like when there's like little accounts from people's friends and family, that's another thing that I always find myself getting wrapped up in. Like, I know I'm here, I'm working, I'm behind the camera capturing this moment for them, but I'm human, so I also get like wrapped up in the moment a little bit, and I'm just like, oh man, this is beautiful. But again, behind the camera, don't want my tears and sobbing to be picked up, so gotta kind of stay professional.
And see, I appreciate that. Okay, so what is it like to work with byLadyBug?
I didn't expect the pose. So from a very biased standpoint, because I am your fiance, it was great. You know, if I was just some random person, I would say what?
I got caught up in the fact that you were talking about, it was great because I was your fiance, but then I really understood what that meant that was the biased point of view.
Yes, because I'm your fiance, so there's
let me get ready for the unbiased review.
So from a completely different perspective, you have a tendency of getting caught up in your work, which is good, but also as your second, I shouldn't be the one reminding you of time. But maybe that's why people need assistance though and help, because the thrill of getting that perfect shot for her is everything and can cause her to lose sight of everything else. So that was cool, but at the same time, it was like, yo, we got stuff to do. Also, you're in my shot. You're in my shot. Not terrible, but like you said, it's easy because you're able. I can go over you.
Yeah.
With certain shots.
Yeah. Focusing on the shot.
Focusing on the shot. You do give good direction though, like because she's the editor, but also this is her brand and her company. She's able to give very good direction as far as what she wants. She will be surprised by things that I add in there that are like, oh dang, this is good. I like that.
Think about that.
Yeah. But as far as, hey, I need this, very easy to understand when you're describing it, and you're easy to work with, because I am somebody that appreciates like direct instructions and not just like, oh, do whatever. That doesn't work for me. I need like direction.
Don't do whatever. You'll just get a bunch of shoe shots.
Yeah, just get a bunch of shoe shots. So like, what does that mean? What is that? You just want shoes off of feet? You want shoes on feet? I don't understand that. So
yeah.
But yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah. But yes, so he is my forever second. I appreciate him for all the work that he does, and I hope to never take him for granted. He'll tell me if I do. But I thank you again. I hope you guys had a great Thursday and even better Friday. Bye.
Bye. Shameless plug here.
Plug away.
I play a lot of video games, and occasionally I stream on Twitch. And I have a really profound love for taking in-game photography, right? So there's a moment in a video game, it's like, oh man, this is dope, so I'll take some pictures. And my hard drive on my PlayStation 4 is chock full of them. I try to post some of those on my Instagram, and
he doesn't know how to shameless plug well.
No.
So his Twitch account is twitch.tv/dread_serious. Spell that for us, will you?
Sirius, SIRIUS, so like Sirius Black from the Harry Potter stuff. Yeah.
And his Instagram page is
Same thing.
same thing.
Dread Sirius.
Dread Serious. Plug ending.